So it seems that Kandi and Todd's divorce may not be so cut and dry as some thought, and Mama Joyce and Aunt Bertha just may have been right.
Could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Kandi and Todd have been married since April of 2014, and on November 21st, Kandi filed for divorce. A few days later, on November 26th, Todd filed an answer with the courts. So when Kandi filed back on the 21st of November, she cited that the marriage was irretrievably broken and that they had been separated since July 15th of this year. In Todd's response, according to US Weekly, he is demanding primary physical custody, meaning he would want to be the primary parent that the children lived with, and Kandi would get visitation. Todd also wants the courts to decide if the prenup the couple had in place will be honored or if it will be thrown out. Todd and his lawyers are stating that he was somewhat pressured into signing the prenup the day of the marriage. They're also stating that Kandi and her attorneys waited to present Todd with the prenup until his lawyers weren't around, mentioning that Kandi and her attorneys knew Todd had a team and they had already been in discussions in regards to the prenup, but chose to present the final agreement to Todd when he didn't have legal representation present. So my thoughts, first off, is Kandi girl, I expected so much more from you. Now, Kandi is a powerhouse. She is very successful, has been for decades. She's always into something, dibbling and dabbling in about her bag. So I have to say I am a little disappointed in the fact that the prenup was presented to Todd on the day of the wedding, and I really want to know what's up with that. And if I want anything answered, I want that answer, because Kandi has made mention to how other successful women have kind of got like a bad end of the deal when it comes to divorce. And I don't know what it is with the reoccurring things of celebs, especially presenting their soon to be husband or soon to be wife these prenuptial agreements the day of the wedding. Like, these weddings take time to plan. Why don't they get these agreements signed before the day? Because if it were me and I were protecting my legacy and my finances, I would not wait until the day that I'm going to be walking down the aisle with this person for everything to be settled, put away, and done. They're always trying to find a loophole or a reason to get it thrown out. We know Kandi has a great mind for business, and I really wish that she would have got that issue squared away beforehand and not even left the option for him to even bring that to the table. Now, with that in mind, I will say Todd has turned out to be a piece of work, and I don't think no grown adult man should be asking his ex for spousal, alimony, any type of financial support after the relationship has ended. And that's just me and how I see it. Some people are going to disagree and some people are going to agree. But I will wholeheartedly die on the hill that men should be able to stand on their own too. Now, no one on the outside truly knows whether Todd entered into this relationship with Kandi with bad intentions. But what I will say is I'm pretty sure Todd knew exactly what he was signing up for with Kandi. He knew she was very successful. He knew she was very independent and headstrong, and he also knew she was about her money. So for Todd to now essentially try to go after her kids and her money, for lack of a better word, it's a bitch move. And this is something that happens that you will see with a man who is jealous with his significant other. And not only do I believe Todd was and still is jealous of Kandi, I believe that he feels entitled. So let's check this clip out real quick before we get back into Todd.
For young women who are bosses and have all this money and got this extra shit. No, because I think, I understand the double standard, but I think you also need to understand the man that you're with, the man that you chose and you're allowed to choose you, that you can't be so mind. You know what I mean? You have to open up within reason. I'm not saying don't buy no niggas, no Bentleys and doing dumb shit, but you got to invest in y'all future, and you got to let your man feel like a man in those scenarios. Because with all the money that you have, you can't go by yourself. You know what I mean? Because at times that type of energy of it's mine. No, I'm just being honest as a man. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. As you continue to be like it's mine, it's hard to hear someone say it's mine in a relationship that's supposed to be it's ours. Can I talk? And it's not about, hey, I got this 10 million, let me give you 5. It's not that. It's more so just knowing like, yo, we got each other, whatever. Let's build, let's make it happen. But when you hear a person say mine a lot, that shit sticks. Believe me, I'm telling you.
So we already know that he was indirectly talking to Kandi, and he was using that time to get some stuff off of his chest, and how he basically, to me, he kind of resents her because and she's protecting her money. Him saying, oh, you a boss chick and you got everything, but you have to invest in you and your man's future, and you got to let your man feel like a man. First of all, Todd, men do what they want. Boys do what they can. Okay? Let that sink in. No one has to let a man do anything. A man will just do it. And what exactly does a woman giving a man access to her finances do to let a man feel like a man? Because a man should be able to fund all of his business adventures. He should be able to fund his life. Because if he can't, he should be out there grinding and doing what he needs to do to get to that point where he can. And so we're not going to get this confused. A marriage is definitely a partnership. And yes, when it comes to finances, I think things should be discussed as a unit. But two things can be true at once. We know Kandi had her fortune before you. So should she give you unchecked, unmonitored access to those funds that she made before you? Hell no. Because we're going to put this real simple. A motherfucker that ain't helped you get nothing will help you lose it. And Todd and Kandi were together for 11 years. And you're not going to convince me that he did not get perks and benefits of being Kandi Burruss's husband. I know she had connections in the industry, and don't get me wrong, I know Todd had some success in the industry, but compared to Kandi, his success was moderate. And so that's why he was jealous of her, in my opinion. And he was also holding this grudge against her because she wouldn't let him just run out here and spend her money. Kandi has said before how Todd has all these different ideas for all of these different businesses, and he wants to take on all of these different tasks and open and do these projects all at once just because he feels that they have the money to fund them. And people that are not using their own capital to back these different projects and businesses, they not gonna care, and they not gonna really put they all into running it, because when it's gone and it blows up in their face, they think they can just be able to move over to the next because, hey, my wife's Kandi and I feel like her funds are unlimited. And so at this point, I feel comfortable with calling Todd a bum, because only a bum would try to go after his wife for her money and for the kids. He knows Kandi is successful, and out of all these years, he's been able to live a very comfortable life. And he was supposed to give help because this is a 2-parent household. And if your wife is the breadwinner, then of course she is more busier than you. So just because you may spend a little more time with the kids, you now feel like, oh, I should get primary physical custody. You're going to use her success against her and say, oh, she has out of state obligations, so you feel the kids should stay with you. Of course, because she's going to be bankrolling her children's lifestyle. And yes, we know divorces get ugly and they change people, but a lot of that is already inside the person. Him saying a person can't say mine in a relationship is bullshit, because her saying it's mine lets me know that whatever it was that was going on, it was regarding her fucking money. It didn't have anything to do with the money that you guys made together in the marriage, because guess what? She wouldn't be able to say it's mine. And what did you bring to the table beforehand that you could claim as yours? divorce, Todd. And we all watched them start restaurants and other businesses together. So you can't say that Kandi was not supportive and was not a team player when it came to trying to build something with Todd. But just because she refuses to finance every little idea that pops in his head, he can't say, hey, my wife is not supportive. And my real question to Todd is, why haven't you spent these past 11 years elevating yourself? Because it's no way that you're walking away from a powerhouse like Kandi and you have to financially depend on her. And we all know he only wants the kids in primary custody because he wants child support. He wants Kandi to take care of him. Plain and simple. In my opinion, he wants the prenup thrown out because he wants to request spousal support. We know that's only going to last about 3 or 4 years if he even was to get it. And so, what would he do after that? Which is why he wants to bring the kids into play because they are still fairly young, and that will get him a nice paycheck for many years to come. I think men like Todd should be embarrassed to try to get spousal support and child support and try to question the prenup after signing it and trying to get it thrown out. I think we need to just laugh at men like this. And ladies, we have to do better. Yeah, don't date down. It's a whole nother level with these men and their entitlement. So y'all don't forget to hit that like button, drop below in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all this, and I'll see y'all in the next one.